Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and we are back in another week of Destiny 2, another Ascendant challenge. We are headed up to the top of the map in the Dreaming City. It is November 19th, and we are headed to the Harbinger Seclude, way up here in the top, to the Keep of Honed Edges. This is the one with the sword, probably the toughest eggs to find. So if you want to jump ahead, timestamps are on screen. We're going to show you guys how to get to the portal. It's a bit of a drive. If you want to jump ahead, that's fine. I'll cover a couple tips before we go in the portal, and of course, timestamps are on screen. At the end, I'll show you guys where the egg locations and the lore bones are at. So, come along for the journey, and I'll see you guys over there. If you guys are following along, though, thank you guys for tuning in. Almost 43,000 subs on the climb to 50K. You guys are all amazing that we are even that close, so thank you all for the support lately. It has been awesome. Videos of multiple different types have been out there. Actually been playing a fair amount of Star Wars Fallen Order. That game is a ton of fun. I'm about 6 hours in, roughly. I've got about 4 pieces recorded for you guys. And I'd be curious to know your thoughts as well. If you're playing the game on your own, you might not want to watch. If you do want to watch, do you want to see kind of curated, edited videos or just long, uncut gameplay? I mean, I talk through it, but not all the time. But if you guys just want to see the gameplay uncut as we go and explore through, I can just slap those up there. If you want to see a little more edited versions, let me know what you guys would prefer down in the comments, because I definitely would like to get that content up there. The game is a ton of fun. I mean, it's like playing through a Star Wars movie with a little bit of Dark Souls combat combined with things like Uncharted or Tomb Raider wall climbing and exploring, and Metroid Prime or Metroid Castlevania type. Got to get some type of ability or thing to go back to certain locations. There's a lot of awesomeness in that game. I'm definitely going to be playing it, so you guys can check me out on stream as I do. But let me know in the comments below if you guys have opinions about how you want to see that content. Now, if you can keep your Sparrow over to this run, it just makes things a little quicker. But if it does explode, it's not a big deal. Just fight your way over the path that I'm taking. It's just a long ways, so if you can drive, it speeds the process along. Vex Offensive also did launch today with the final assault version, so not much has really changed. Your only difference is really going to be just the fact that we now face the Undying Mind at the boss encounter, and that is pretty much it. I honestly can say I was hoping for more of a change, but it doesn't look like we're going to be getting that. It's just kill the Undying Mind in the same arena, same 3 levels, that's about all. Alright, so once you get to the back, we are clear off the map, but way the crap up here, in Harbinger Seclude, and you're facing this statue at the end of the pathway. You're going to go ahead and want to pop your Tincture of Queen's Foil here. Now, once facing this, best way to get up there is the secret platforms over here. You can technically jump off these crazy rocks and get up there, but it's really not worth it. So, work your way up the floating rocks. It's a little better this way. All the way up to the top, making a big circle on the floaty rocks. And again, the Tincture of Queen's Foil lasts for 30 minutes, so if for some reason you die, just hang out, jump around the rocks, and the portal should appear again. It's not like it's gone if you get one try. Because trust me, I've died in this one many times. Alright, so when we get inside, fair warning, there's an edit here because my ridiculous attempts at not dying are going to be at the end. So that'll be fun for you guys to watch. But when you go in, if you're going for the time trial, the idea is, then time trial is just a triumph, so it's not anything required. You just need to be fast. So you want your super up as much as you can. It's going to help clear the ads. Then you also want to make sure and bring something with you as you're heading out if you need to pause and shoot some enemies that's got range. Got a sniper rifle, a scout rifle will work. Something at range to clear some ads so you're not getting picked off by snipers as you leave. Now, when you head in, there's no flying rocks, no disappearing platforms. When you clear out the knights and stuff in the middle and you head back out, like in the Corrupted Strike, the big floating purple rocks, they will smash you like a bug on a windshield. And then also, as you're leaving, some of the platforms will disappear. Another thing to note, when you jump in, you're not always going to have the same entrance and exit point that I show. There are 3 of them in kind of a triangle, so just know it could be one of the 3. So let's head inside, get this thing going. So when you head in, my floating rocks are already going. Now this is what I'm talking about. Normally when you head in, you guys will not be seeing these floating rocks, so just be aware. It's just because I went in, did this already, and died, and now this part's activated. If you don't want to face the flying rocks on the way in, they're not that bad because there's no rush on this section, but they will definitely ruin your day if they catch you. So, if you need to reset it, go back to the original landing zone, drive out there and do it again, and then you'll have a fresh actual instance. So in here, you'll notice this rock is actually rotating. Rocks are flying by that will absolutely ruin you. So from here, I'm just trying to find a decent landing zone. Please let me catch something. Now, as I said, some platforms will disappear. Some will not, but once we get to the middle, I'm going to try and clear out the ads as quick as I can. I'm going to probably clear a few and then pop my super once I get to the middle. So typically I'll try and show you guys a fast run, but as soon as the super's up, we're going to go with it. Super should be up literally any second. There we go. So we're going to go super. We've got Transcendence. So that's actually going to work pretty well. And I'm wearing the wonderful helm that's going to help me out with that as well. So after the Acolytes are down that spawn on either side, you should be okay to work in the middle. And we should be good. Now once all the ads die, you'll know the ads are dead because you can't actually get to the middle section. Now, as you're waiting for the ads to spawn, these guys to spawn in, go ahead and knock this guy off. Usually it's a good way to get started here. Slam is actually a really good way to stun these guys. They're gonna hurt. And what you want to do is actually get underneath and try and get some cover, because there's a lot of stuff that's gonna come at you, and you want some health as you work this. Now, if you can get your super off, that's a nice way to kill one of these guys. The next one will be coming right behind, so be aware that they're coming. Try and manage them with different swipes. And try really not to stop moving, but that slam will help clear the thrall as they come at you. It's a little chaotic, but try and stay under the platform. There's less shooting at you. So once this thing comes up, figure out which platform it goes to. It's going to guide you to your exit. Now, yours would look like mine. Flying rocks and disappearing platforms are the case. Now, that one just passed, so I can actually go. These ones that look like geodes typically do tend to disappear on you, but not always. Now, if you've got ads up here, you can use the sword, but be careful about the sword. Now, when I was saying you can drop it, make sure you're not on a platform that's going to disappear. And those I probably don't need to worry about because I'm going to go this way. I'm going to make sure those are passed by. Now, this is probably going to disappear on you. You can hear the audio cue that it's going to leave visually. Get up in the air, and then use the sword even if you have an SU. Now, I think I'm probably going to have one smash above the head. You can look up. Sometimes you'll catch it. It's actually on the next set of rocks, so I should be good. If you're going for the time trial, it can just be a risk to go for it, but sometimes you've just got to run if you don't seem to get it fast enough. Now, you can also just use the sword if you click fast enough and fly. Bring the sword with you all the way to this point. It does seem to be required to get about this far. And then you can use these little guys to exit. Not every exit is the same. I'm going to fly back over here. And remember, you can use that sword flight to save your butt at moments. So keep that in mind. This is probably one of the harder ones to get up to quickly. Warlock floofing for the win there. Some people blame Warlocks for floofing, but they're an easy jump to manage. You can just get up to the top. This is how you would exit, but I'm going to head back to the middle with the sword. If you are looking for eggs and lore bones, bring the sword with you. One of these is definitely the hardest. So we're going to head back to the middle. You guys can follow me, and then we'll get the next part going. I'm going to kind of get to the highest point I can, and then use this thing to try and sword fly to the back. Especially just because I had these rocks go across. I'm going to try and fly where I can. Don't always risk it unless you know platforms are there, but I know this thing pretty well, so I know where to go. If you got a long one like this, they do tend to disappear on you. And then if you know you got a couple rocks that just flew by, swing back to the middle. Alright, so once you get back to the middle, I'm going to use this as a point of reference. If you face in the direction where these two raised platforms are closest together, as in not behind me, this is going to be my point of reference for the eggs and the lore bones. So I'm going to cut ahead and show you guys where those are at, but that is the general part of the Ascendant challenge. Timestamps are still below if you want to cut ahead to a certain egg that you're missing, and then the end will be a bloopers run because that was ridiculous. So, here we go. Alright, so the first egg, if you're facing in my point of reference, turn about 120 degrees to your right to this little gazebo platform. Watch for your flying rocks because you're going to have to do the whole thing again just to get the sword. So patience is a key here, but some of the platforms will disappear, so you don't have that much time. So kind of wait for things to fly by. I just saw them go. Give them a second to fly by again, so you got a fairly safe run. Safe is relative on this one, believe me. So it looks like they're coming through. Get ready for everything to kind of pass by, and then we're going to make our run. So this platform will disappear. So be ready. This next one will on top of that. Actually, that one doesn't, but this long one does. So this one right here, the big stone, you're going to want to jump up in the air over to this one. Now this is the hardest egg ever to get to. Wow, that was really close. That was tighter than I wanted. But you're looking for the statue holding a lantern. And what you're going to do is walk over here to this edge. And if there's like an outside edge, basically if you can see the center section, kind kind of behind the butt of the statue, you know you're looking at the right edge. And out here, when the light actually flashes, you'll see, there it is, out this direction you've got a little stone structure. This is where we're going to. Now, the only way to get there is to sword fly. So, this platform is kind of tilted, so I usually get on the highest point. I go for a bit of a run, and then just swipe in the direction of those flashed rocks out there as quick as you can. Run, get a jump up as high as you can, and then start swinging. And once you get closer, just looking for this kind of right edge over here. It's got the lowest platforms on it. And just make sure you land. Then we're going to kind of go up the back side here. Usually for me, easiest way is to float up around this way. All the way around, and your egg should be literally right there. Now, how somebody found that? No idea. Congrats to the first person who did. I'm not going to claim the credit, but that's where your first egg is going to be. Now, keeping the sword, it's easiest to get back to the center literally from here. You got a good vantage point. You've actually got the height and elevation to literally fly the entire way back. So wait for everything to fly kind of across your section. You'll see those rocks go, things all dropping down. If you just kind of split the uprights here in the middle, all the chaos is going on, just jump to the top and swing. Now, if you can keep the sword and keep swinging and land on the top of the gazebo, it makes this next one easier, but if not, that is okay too. So from here, you're going to want to get to the top of this. Fly up here, clamber up the ledge, up and over. And then we're going to turn. So we came from that one, and now we're going to go to the top of the front gazebo. So this is where you want to end up. My portal's over there, your portal may be in a different section, but the idea is when you're standing on this one, you're going to be looking for some rocks out there. Now, it's not the most obvious thing. I've got older videos where I actually have it shown. But the idea is there's one hidden way the crap out there. Now, if, say, you don't have the sword, for example, you don't need it anymore, so you can put it down. But what you want to do, and the eggs, remember you guys have to shoot those with the Wish Ender bow. It's the only thing that damages them, so keep that in mind. Get this little ledge, and we're trying to hit this little ledge up there. Different classes have different heights, so just get the highest jump that you can. Everything's just all about lift on this one. Strafe, not so much. Burst is going to get me airborne, and glide to start. Balanced is kind of in between, so strafe is more about that. Moderate speed and directional control. So I'm trying to get up there to that little lip. So run and jump and just kind of float over. Some classes are a little better, but if you can grab the edge, you're good. Come over here to this first little kind of crest and edge. And out here, you're going to see this little mountain that comes up when it flashes. It's really faint, but it is right out here. There's a mountain kind of like one crest here, and then there's a smaller piece here. Now it's hard to see because I don't have the little section lit up anymore, but it's going to be out in this region. And somewhere out there, if you guys can see, I'm trying to use a zoom, there's the mountain. You can actually see this is the edge right here. You can actually see that little crest right there, that V, thanks to joys of geometry getting a little weird. That V is what you're looking for to shoot with your bow. So it's hard to see, but that little perfect shadow is going to be right there. Now, it should have a little bit of a glow that you're going to be shooting for, and you may take 10 shots to put right there. It's a really hard shot to hit. But you guys can see the rock structure out here. It's going to have a little faint glow, and you might shoot 25 arrows in that little crack. Eventually, one of them will strike that thing, and you can hit it from here. Just try and get as far over here to the left as you can. Try not to fall off. Find the rocks again, and then again, shoot between that little V between those two mountain peaks. And eventually, I promise you, it took me about 15 tries when I did it. You will eventually hit that one. So, that is both eggs. The lore bones, if we come back, are going to be also fun. So, lore bones, using the same spot as a point of reference. And again, the gazebo I was standing on is that one right up there. It's the one up in front of you for the second egg. First egg, over here to the right, out towards the statue path and then sword flying. Second egg, stand on this little gazebo top and then shoot between the little mountain peaks. The final one is the lore bones. You got to kind of, you guys will see where I tried to get to this in the save my butt moment. But if you come back out here and land on this little baby lip, you're going to see these platforms start appearing. And we're just going to follow these all the way down. Now, it's going to have a couple leap of faith jumps, but usually if you get to the edge, you'll see the next one appear. Also, typically you'll find Tolan if you need him for the daily bounty. And we'll just work. So that one, honestly, I just know it's there, so I know to jump. You can barely creep and usually get it to appear, so you have an idea where your jump's going to be. Again, get to that edge, same principle. No falling rocks are this close to the middle platform, so you should be fairly safe on those. Once you get around, you'll get to this last one that tapers out. And right here on the tip of this little stone is where you're going to find the lore bones. And that is basically it. If you want to go out through the platform, you can. But if you've like come back in looking for the eggs and the lore bones, you can basically exit from here. So this, again, is the Keep of Honed Edges. Probably the craziest eggs and lore bones to get to, with the sword being involved in one of them for sure. But I hope you guys found the video helpful. If you did, drop a like below, leave a comment if you got questions. Enjoy the outtakes at the... Enjoy the outtakes at the end. Because I had a couple goofs and I tried to save it with the sword. I almost did too, but not quite. So, thank you guys. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter, either playing this or just a lot of Star Wars lately. Have an awesome one. If you haven't subbed to the channel, please do so. Hit the alert bell to keep my videos coming to you and fight that YouTube algorithm sometimes, which is a bit hectic. And enjoy your week. Go kill the Undying Mind. Go get all this stuff if you're working for Cursebreaker. And have a good one. Moving. I'm going to go around this way. Now this one's going to go away on me as well, so I got to be ready. I've also got a bit of an issue here. Now, my only hope to save this is to come back to the center and try and catch one of these floaty platforms that are going to be down here. Now, normally you're not going to be able to do that, but that is a way technically to save it. This is where the lore bones are going to be at, and I'll show you guys that's where it's at. But if you can get to the center, there are floating platforms if you don't get completely smashed. Normally I would have died there, but that's probably one of the first times I've ever saved it. So if you're not really in a big rush, and you actually have a platform that doesn't disappear on you, these like geode ones tend to do that. But if you're waiting, wait for it to come across. Oh, come on. Oh my god, I'm going to do it again. Alright, this is a bad run. I'll be completely honest, because I'm even lower than I was before. But if you can keep swiping, you actually can kind of fly. Still, I'm going to go under every platform, I swear. Hang on the inside. Come on. One of these I've got to catch. Nope, still not. Oh, come on. I have a lot of swipes on this thing. I'm sorry. Nope, we're done. Can't say I didn't try, but we'll try that again.